I recently turned 26, and I've been sitting with this realization that growing up isn't just about the lessons that you collect. It is also, maybe more importantly, about the beliefs that you have to let go of. So, this video is about 26 things that I've had to unlearn. Okay, let's go. Chapter 1, about success and how the world works. Unlearn number 26. Hard work guarantees results. This one I believed so deeply for so long, and this is also something that is just ingrained to us since we were children. Work hard enough and you'll get there. What I've come to realize is that hard work is necessary, but it's not sufficient. A lot of success actually comes from working smart and also luck. This doesn't mean you have to stop working hard. Work hard, but also work smart. Unlearn number 25. Things in life come without a cost. Everything comes with a cost, including the things that are worth having. We just don't see it because we always focus on the yes. We see the success, but we don't see what it costs. I had to learn to look at every big yes that I've ever told and ask, what is the cost of this? Unlearn number 24. Growth is a linear process. I used to picture growth like it's this graph that just steadily goes up, but it is nothing like that. It is messy, non-linear. It's like a hike. When you're on a trail and your legs are just burning, you can't see how far you've come. You have to stop, turn around, and look back at the distance. Only then you will be able to see it. Unlearn number 23. Failing equals bad. Nope. Failing means you have tried. And trying is way superior than just not trying at all. So the only real failure is actually not showing up. Unlearn number 22. There are bad decisions. Okay, this one is a bit different. Because objectively, there are certain things in life that are just bad. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about those decisions that you judge your past self for. Decisions that you made at that point in time with the information that you had that made sense to you then. So judging your past self based on the current understanding that you have right now is actually quite redundant. Unlearn number 21. When I achieve X, I will finally feel good. The classic moving goalpost. You think, when I get that job, I will finally feel settled. When I hit this number in my bank account, I will feel secure about my financial situation. And then you get there, and almost immediately, the goalpost moves. Now, it's the next thing. But what I've started to notice is that the feeling of chasing was actually never at the destination. It was in the doing. Unlearn number 20. Routines are boring. Young me thought routines are for people with no spontaneity. But routines are actually one of the most underrated tools that all of us have. Having a set of things to do in a day actually helps you deal with the uncertainty of life. When everything around you feels chaotic, your routine is the structure that actually holds you. It doesn't have to be the 5 a.m. strict disciplined routine. It can be anything. It just has to be yours. Unlearn number 19. Mental strength precedes physical strength. I used to think that these two things are separate processes. Like you work on your mind and then you work on your body, and these two just never meet. What I found, and I'm very much still in process with this one, starting with the physical fitness makes the mental fitness actually quite easier. When you move your body, build physical discipline, show up for yourself in that way, it actually bleeds to every other areas of your life. Unlearn number 18. Resting equals unproductive, which is equal to bad. Work hard and play hard. We've already all heard this, right? But you also need to rest hard. Compromising on your fundamentals like sleep, food, exercise, and your actual downtime for the sake of productivity is actually not really a flex like it's sold to be. It is basic respect that you give to your body. So honor that. Chapter 2, about people and how you relate to them. Unlearn number 17. A bad action makes someone a bad person. This one took me a while. When someone does something and that hurts you, or when they do something wrong, we immediately conclude that they are now a bad person. But people are not their worst actions. People are complicated, layered, and operating from their own wounds and their own histories. By the way, this doesn't mean you excuse everything. It just means you can hold a more honest picture of someone instead of just collapsing them into one moment. Separating the action from the person is actually one of the most freeing things that you can do to them and also to yourself. Unlearn number 16. People around you think the way you do. I used to assume that people operated from similar values, similar emotional logic. and similar ways of processing things. When someone reacted differently to how I expected them to do so, I'd be confused, hurt, or frustrated. But people genuinely do not think the way you do. So, you have to meet people where they are, not where you are. Number 15. Being liked by everyone is the goal. To want to be liked is human, completely natural. But to want to be liked by everyone? That is a sure shot way to feel miserable about yourself. Because that is impossible. So now what I tell myself is that the goal isn't to be liked by everyone that you meet. The goal is actually to be liked by yourself enough such that when someone doesn't like you, you are able to sit with that and be okay with it. Unlearn number 14. Not caring about other people's judgment is a personality trait. There's this thing in the self-improvement world that I've immersed myself into, where not giving a gets positioned as the ultimate goal. Like caring nothing about what people around you think is the mark of someone who's truly evolved. I don't think that's right anymore. There are two very different things that are actually being mixed up here. Not caring about judgment from the people around you, that is genuinely something to work toward. But caring deeply about the people you love and just pretending that you don't, that's not a good thing. When you care about how your actions actually impact the people around you, that's love, and you don't have to unlearn that. Unlearn number 13. Detachment is actually a cool thing. Following on from the previous point, when someone you love goes through a hard time, whether they get sick or get hurt or something happens to them, and that thing actually hurts you, there's a quiet temptation in our heads to think that if I could just detach, I would feel fine. Now, I have reframed this completely. The fact that it hurts, that's the point. That hurt is showing you that you can actually love deeply. This is not a problem to fix. This is what makes you human. Unlearn number 12. You have to isolate yourself to change your life. You know what I'm talking about. The lock-in narrative. Cut everyone off, go monk mode, remove yourself from life to become the person you want to be. I don't buy it anymore. You can participate in life fully. So you can go to the dinners, be present in your friendships, have time for family, enjoy the things that you want to enjoy, and still build a life that you want for yourself. Unlearn number 11. If you're scared, that's a sign to not do it. Please do it scared. I mean specifically those moments where you're choosing not to show up because of the discomfort. Do it anyway. Because those moments where you actually show up when you're scared are literally the moments where you feel best about yourself afterwards. Because you proved to yourself that you could. And that you're someone that shows up even when it's uncomfortable. And guess what? That proof compounds. Unlearn number 10. The big moments are what make life. I spent a long time waiting for the big moments in my life. The milestones, the achievements, the things that are worth remembering. And what I'm slowly starting to realize, and I'm still in the middle of this, is that life is not made of those big moments. Life is actually a series of the small moments that led up to those big moments. Unlearn number 9. Life isn't there just to have fun. Somewhere along the way, I absorbed this belief that life is primarily a project, a thing to be optimized, improved, but over that course, I somehow missed the point that it's also supposed to be enjoyable. You do not have to have achieved great things or be on track for great things to decide that today is going to be a good day. Waking up and choosing to enjoy the day despite the mess, despite the chaos, that is a completely valid and quite honestly a courageous goal to have. Chapter 3. About yourself and your inner world. Unlearn number 8. Accountability comes naturally. It doesn't. Ownership, so genuinely looking at something that went wrong and saying, this one's on me, without making excuses. That is a skill. It is a muscle that we need to train. Unlearn number 7. Respecting yourself starts with how you speak to yourself. I used to think that self-respect was actually about self-talk, affirmations, being kind to yourself. And then I realized respecting yourself starts with whether or not you keep those promises to yourself, especially the small ones. When you say you're going to do something and you don't, what we don't realize is that it quietly chips away at the trust you have in yourself. So honoring your own word, especially in the small things, is actually where your self-respect gets built. Unlearn number 6. Confidence is a binary thing that just arrives. Confidence doesn't just appear one day because you did the big thing. It is not something that you either have or you don't. It is a compounded result of all the small things that you do on a consistent basis. Confidence also comes from competence. The more skilled you are at something, the more confident you will feel about yourself. Unlearn number 5. I will remember how this year went. Spoiler, you won't. You won't if you don't reflect. What I mean with that is when you have those days where everything is the same, it's the same: sleep, work, chill, eat, repeat, the year actually becomes a blur. A lot of things happened, but when December comes, you just feel like nothing changed. Like you didn't grow and the year just passed through you. But that's not usually what happens. So what's been helping me is spending even at least 5 minutes in a day to just reflect on how the day went. Unlearn number 4. You don't need a spiritual practice. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what to believe or what not to believe. That is your call and I will let you take it. But what I found is that having some practice that connects you to something bigger than just your to-do list matters. Prayer, meditation, journaling, or spending time with nature, or even just sitting in silence. Whatever resonates with you. What this thing does is that it gives you somewhere to put the things that logic cannot solve. I'm still building mine, but I know I need this the most. Unlearn number 3. Healing is something you can rush. You need to give space to heal. I mean this in every sense. I'll give you a small example. If your skin is having a reaction, so breaking out, irritated, or just inflamed, now is not the time to experiment with new products, right? Let it correct and give it space to heal. And after that process is done, then you introduce new things that you want to experiment. Your body and your mind work the same way. You cannot pile new things onto something that still requires time to heal. Unlearn number 2. Zoom in on what's going wrong. When something hard is happening in our lives, it is so easy for us to put it into 6x zoom. When you zoom out, you can look at the whole picture. The things that are working, the people that are still there. So you need to zoom out to count your blessings. And finally, unlearn number 1. Happiness is a destination. I used to think that happiness was something that you arrived at. So if you did the right things, made the right choices, and eventually you will just reach that state. But it's not a state to reach. It is already around all of us. In ordinary days, in small moments, in things that you just look past because it's not what you're looking for. The practice is just shifting your focus toward it. So that's 26. If one of these hit close to home, let me know in the comments below. And if there's something that you've had to unlearn that I haven't mentioned here, also let me know because I would genuinely love to know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.